Fredo, you broke my heart. You broke my heart.
It's never easy to recapture what made a movie good, let alone improve upon it. But these follow-ups did exactly that.
I don't have a single lead.
I do. I hear you can get Wi-Fi on campus anywhere 24/7.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie sequels that were better than the original.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Dickovich. You know, all I got is this 20 to the rest of the week.
Sorry doesn't pay the rent. And don't try to sneak past me. I have ears like a cat and eyes like a rodent.
For this list, we cast our eye over film sequels that are excellent in their own right, but that are also widely considered to have been an improvement on their predecessors. The greater the gap in quality between the original and the sequel, the higher it will rank on this list.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Also, to be clear, by sequels, we're referring to the second films in a series only. Number 10, Spider-Man 2.
No more.
This acclaimed superhero film isn't burdened by the need to tell an origin story, allowing it the opportunity to delve further into the characters we met in the first film. What's more, we're introduced to Dr. Octopus, a wonderfully insane evil genius who's brought to life by a fantastic Alfred Molina performance and Oscar-winning special effects.
Something in my head. Something talking.
With a more sinister and captivating villain, better cinematography, and more compelling action sequences overall, it's clear that this sequel greatly improves upon the original.
I want a life of my own.
You've been given a gift, Peter. With great power comes great responsibility.
Emo Peter Parker may be incredibly meme-worthy, but it's no match for the second film's exceptional action. Number 9, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
You're saying coming here was a bad idea. I'm beginning to agree with you.
Even though A New Hope received higher praise upon initial release, the second film in the original space opera trilogy has come to be accepted as the best one of the series over time.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
Its aesthetics, complex characters, and iconic dialogue set the standard for an entire generation of filmmakers. And the story is more intriguing than almost any other movie at the time.
You make it so difficult sometimes.
I do, I really do.
It's one of the highest-grossing films ever, and is a memorable picture for many reasons, including the unforgettable twist in its final act.
It's not true.
We're pretty sure you know what we're talking about, and that's because this film is simply inescapable.
That's impossible! Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Number 8, Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
The unlucky Ripley has to fight the Xenomorphs once more in this action-heavy follow-up to Ridley Scott's acclaimed sci-fi horror flick.
You can't help them! You can't. Right now they're being cocooned just like the others.
There are more aliens, more guns, more classic one-liners, and somehow even more intensity than the first film.
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
It must have been incredibly difficult to improve upon a movie that's considered a cinematic masterpiece. Yet James Cameron manages to take the greatest elements from the first film, enhances them, and turns the result into one of the best action movies of the 1980s.
Don't be gone long, Alan.
Number 7, The Dark Knight.
Ready to die, hero. Or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Batman Begins establishes the dark tone that defined Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, but its sequel perfects the recipe.
You have all these rules and you think they'll save you.
Add in a legendary performance by Heath Ledger, and you have the makings of one of the best comic book films of all time.
Why so serious?
The Dark Knight even transcends the superhero genre, and is considered a magnificent crime thriller in its own right. The action sequences are mostly created with practical effects, making for a sense of realism that no other movie of its kind has yet been able to emulate.
Drop the gun.
Oh, sure, you just take off your little mask and show us all who you really are.
Number 6, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Trainees,
To the briefing room.
One of the greatest challenges any Star Trek filmmaker will face is pleasing the devoted followers of the franchise.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
While the first film adaptation received mixed reviews, it was enough of a hit to warrant a sequel, restoring the faith of the fans with a successful film that pretty much saved the whole series.
Sulu, divert all power to phasers. Too late.
Hang on!
The story in Wrath of Khan is incredibly strong, epic even, as it brilliantly brings back the iconic characters and a memorable foe from the original TV series.
To the last, I will grapple with thee.
There was a lot of pressure to right the wrongs of the previous attempt, but it does that and much more.
Live long and prosper.
Number 5, Evil Dead 2. Dead by Dawn.
I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul!
Swallow this.
The first 2 entries in the Evil Dead franchise are both cult hits, but the second was lucky enough to get a much larger budget. This allowed for even more campiness, better gore, and enhanced special effects. The sequel further transcends the original by adding in a ton of horror comedy that cemented Bruce Campbell's legendary B-movie status.
That's right. Who's laughing now?
Of course, its budget was still small in comparison to other mainstream films, so it manages to retain the sense of a gritty and twisted reality that only low-budget movies can achieve.
Groovy.
Number 4, X2, XMen United.
Put the knives down!
I can't.
An already large cast of superheroes gets even bigger, and this sequel has the plot to go with it.
You picked the wrong house, Bob.
X2 deals with issues that resonate in real life, and that, combined with the refined action and improved performances, makes for a surprisingly grounded comic book movie.
We still love you, Bobby. It's just this mutant problem is a little...
What mutant problem?
complicated.
It never gets bogged down by the serious points it addresses, however, as the fight scenes are exceptionally choreographed. And we simply can't talk about the excellence of this sequel without mentioning the White House Nightcrawler scene, which is easily one of the best sequences in the entire X-Men franchise.
Oh my God.
Number 3, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
So many Marvel films sacrifice intimate action for sweeping scenes of mass destruction. But that is not the case in Cap's second solo film.
Are you kidding me? He's headed for the garage. Lock down the bridge.
The movie's been compared to a Bourne-style thriller where the hero gradually unravels a mystery, filled with a building intensity along the way. Unlike the first film, there's a greater emphasis on tight, hand-to-hand combat that feels like a much better fit for the leader of the Avengers.
You're my mission.
There's also far more personal conflict than in other Marvel movies, as the Captain faces off against his best friend, Bucky Barnes.
Bucky? Who the hell is Bucky?
Number 2, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Save it. I'm just here for the gasoline.
The Mad Max series has a pretty simple list of features that make it so good. Crazy action, gorgeous cinematography, and a hero anyone can get behind. The sequel to the first movie has all of those elements in abundance and takes the story beyond the simple detailing of the apocalypse.
But nothing could stem the avalanche. Their world crumbled. The cities exploded.
It's an exciting ride, with action that keeps up its intensity for so long, it leaves moviegoers satisfyingly exhausted. Plus, it has one of the most exhilarating climaxes ever put on screen.
Hey, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, but I'm leaving.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Are you saying there's another way into Mordor?
Yes. There's a path and some stairs and then... tunnel.
Oh my God!
Be careful, there's a force field up there.
You're dead. You're dead. Your heart stopped.
It's okay. I mean, do you think it's true that if we never wanted anything, we'd never be unhappy?
I don't know. Not wanting anything, isn't that a symptom of depression?
Yeah, that is, right?
Number 1, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Come with me if you want to live.
Once again, James Cameron manages to take an already phenomenal picture and improve upon it in every way.
T-1000 has the same files that I do. It knows what I know. It might anticipate this move.
I don't care, we gotta stop her.
The first Terminator is essentially a stalking horror flick, but the second becomes more or less a definitive action film. The T-1000 is one of the most menacing villains ever, and the CGI that created that character revolutionized the special effects industry.
Come on, we gotta get out of here, come on! Get up!
The film took home 4 Academy Awards, which was fitting recognition for a movie that managed to expand upon its predecessor's story, while also being a triumph in filmmaking. Plus, what other franchise could turn the original villain into the hero, and do it so convincingly? We rest our case.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Do you agree with our list? What sequel do you think topped the original?
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
For more satisfying top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.